First, what we're going to read, and I'm only going to read now the first 8 verses in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. So if you have your Bibles, it will be on the screen. I'm just going to read straight through them. We're going to start with verse 1. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what has been planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and if you have the skills to, a time to dance. I'm just kidding about that. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence. Some of us struggle with that one. And a time to speak. Less of you struggle with that one. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. This is the word of the Lord. I'm going to say a few things. And then I'm going to have fun because we're going to sing something together that most of you will know. Wait for it. This whole chapter is Solomon having lived out a good bit of his life in his own strength. My impression is that while God gave Solomon the wisdom that surpassed everyone on earth, that he got comfortable with his wisdom and didn't look to God or others for daily manna and daily wisdom for himself. He, in my observation, he lived a soulish life in this season where he thought he had arrived, and then he started observing all that was around him and got disenchanted, frustrated, was just ready to quit. Like, what is it? Meaningless. Meaningless. His inability to listen to those around him who were wise too created great pain for him. And not just for him, but those around him. And this is the peace that I think God has taught many of us in these past couple years. That if we don't deal with ourselves and we don't listen to those around us going, hey, Eric, you have an issue. Or we don't even want to hear. We don't go to someone and say, what do you see? We live and we start looking around and it becomes soulish. And everything is disenchanting. I don't want us to live there. Trace and I were talking how I'm just parenting in general, and this isn't because Evangelin's here. But it's like you want your kids, I want those, some of you younger than me and some of you older than me, I want you to have freedom. that only comes from God. But what I have learned is that everyone has their journey. And they're either going to get there, well, I'm not even going to say that. It's either going to choose to turn to God or choose to turn to other things. And sadly, in my family, I experienced what happens when we don't deal with ourselves and we live in our own counsel, in our own wisdom. We get frantic, manic, busy, fatigued, angry, accusatory, defensive, all those things.